And welcome back to the 2012 Boardroom International Surfboard Expo. It's brought to you by Soulspot.com, SurferMag.com, and SurfersVillage.com. Information by the mag, information on the internet, and of course information on where to go surfing. Those are our three great sponsors. Well, Del Mar Fairgrounds, we've got about another hour or two to go, and we have a couple more special guests. David Stamptiel here along with Todd Klein, and we have Robert Weiner, and we have his good friend, Rich Cisco, Hydroflex. Robert, I got to tell you, I got to shake your hand and say, your team riders love you for good reason. You have a great following. Your boards, just huge respect in the industry, obviously personality, but some talent as well.
I appreciate that. I've been shaping for a lot of the kids in the NSSA and all the events, up and down the coast for years, and a lot of pros also. And I got a great group of kids that love, working with me, and I love working with them, and they have a lot of energy, and I just thrive on that. That energy that those kids carry with them at those events it's unbelievable. And
nothing better than getting a phone call at 2 a.m. from a parent saying, my son qualified for the World Juniors, I need 5 boards. Yeah. That doesn't happen all the time. You're based out of Roberts.com, based out of Ventura.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And who's your friend over here?
This is Rich. He represents Hydroflex, and this board that we was a collaboration with their glassing and my shape. We got best of show for a shortboard category. And this is one of my more popular models at the moment. As you saw at Lower Trestles, Tori Meister was riding a black punt model when he got that 10 in the Bud Lime expression session.
He did a
so
corrupt.
He was riding this model. In fact, this board is the exact same dimensions that Tori rides, and his, when he on his board. So, yeah, and he has some Hydroflex that he loves, and the boards are working really well. And Rich and I told Rich that if we could combine the foam in this board is made by inside blanks. This is actually has a carbon fiber suspension system inside the board. It's been sandwiched in the middle. He's actually got a boost set up over here. And what it does is creates like a nice flex, but it also has an amazing recoil to the board. So when you ride this board, it's alive. It's not like a normal EPS. It is an EPS core, but there's carbon in the center.
But that's the Hydroflex technology.
The Hydroflex technology is the glassing. And he can tell you a little bit more about the glassing on this.
Sure. So we've developed a process called three-dimensional glassing. And what that is we actually route fiber and resin down into the blank. So rather than just laying fiberglass flat on the blank, we're actually going down about 1/4 of an inch into the blank with fiberglass and resin. And what that does is it creates a structure and helps make the board stronger, and we also vacuum bag everything. So we suck out any excess resin that isn't absorbed by the blank or the glass, and that helps us keep the weight down.
If you don't, I guess if you can expose that, what's that process? How do you actually do that?
Oh, that's secret.
It's kind of
it's a patented process, and so it's a little bit of a secret, but it is a mechanical process. We're actually physically getting the.
But if you can imagine the surface of this glass underneath it, it's almost like roots going down into the soil, and the blank being the soil.
Exactly,
so
just like the roots of a
really
tree.
Strong adhesion to the blank, so it becomes one with the blank.
A stringer is obsolete.
The stringer here is not needed. The carbon is inside the board.
Inside the board
and
is
it's actually sandwiched, and this seam is actually indicates where the sandwich was put together.
Dave thought that was the air spray.
No. I thought that was a pretty trick little thin carbon that you just added for some love, but no, that is basically the sandwich. That is an Oreo cookie inside out, but
yep, with carbon as the filling.
Amazing.
Yep, it's not as tasty as an Oreo, but it's more functional.
Is carbon prices coming down because the use in the surf industry, carbon's very popular now?
People are finding out that it's just so strong and light at the same time that it has these characteristics that are unbeatable, in surfboards, because everything has to be light. And this type of glassing eliminates the resin, a lot of the resin, because it's squeezed out of the board with the vacuum. The vacuum bag pulls all the excess resin out.
This looks really critical to put into a machine and finish shaping this thing, because if you take too much off the top or bottom, you're near,
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're a little pricey, but they're amazing. The ride is worth the money. The ride is incredible.
What is
and
this
I have a couple of these. This board actually retails for about $950. US dollars, and that's the starting. You know, if you start adding the carbon and you start adding 5-fin, but I'm telling you, the life expectancy of this board is great. So if you order one, it's gonna live twice as long as a normal board, and the ride is unbelievable. The board has an amazing flex qualities to it, and then we also do them with a polyurethane foam, and we vacuum bag that with epoxy resin in Hydroflex. And those are also available, and that's a little more, it's a little more
friendly on the wallet.
Exactly. So that's another option. That's a great option. It has a PU blank in it, so you still have your PU feel, and then you have this incredible glass that's still nice and light.
Well, Dave,
we see a lot.
Sorry, Dave opened up about your team riders and the respect they have for you. Who is your very first team rider? Is my first question, and second, who's giving you the best feedback?
I would have to answer Sean Hayes probably on both.
That's what I was curious, because I'm a longtime friend of Sean's.
Yeah, Sean is an amazing guy. He has been working with me for years. I don't know, it's probably been 12 years or more, maybe 13, I don't even know. But he's very articulate in his ability to communicate, and he's just a pleasure to work with. The kid's amazing surfer. He rides huge waves. He rips on small waves. He's just a great athlete. He's a great guy, and I love him. And he's been great to work with. So awesome.
Well, I'm being told to wrap it up. You got one more question, Dave?
Yeah, why don't you explain to everybody? We see them on a lot of pro boards, a lot of boards that are the high end, the carbon fiber on the tail, that section. They go, okay, why that section?
Well, the carbon fiber in the tail there is actually designed to eliminate the crushing that goes on when you're surfing at a high level and you're pushing on your tail. You're leaning off the rail, and your toes can crush that rail and destroy it, break it apart. Carbon stops that from happening.
And or your heel after an aerial.
Correct.
I flash on Maurice Cole and Ross Clark-Jones pushing the limits on big waves, and boards break at the tail end there, don't they?
Yep. Oh, that too, and so it definitely gives a lot of strength to the tail area.
So real quick, best of show. I mean, you were in competition against hundreds of other boards.
Well, there was quite a few boards in the best of show, and they loved our technology. They loved everything that we had going on, and it was great to collaborate with Hydroflex and come up with this board and got voted best of show. So I'm very proud of it.
Congratulations. And your fin system there on this board?
Yeah, this is my fin. This is our fin that we designed. This is a future fin, I designed this template. That's our graphic, and it's a really good fin for guys that are about 175 and up, and it also complements my white diamond model that's very popular. So it's a great tri-fin that goes along with my white diamond. So yeah.
And then I guess you'd have to say, how long does something like this take to really shape and complete? I want one. Well,
this construction takes a little longer, so it's probably going to be about a 3-month period from the day you order it until you pick it up, just because there's a lot of things that we have to make sure come out right, and you're paying for a quality board. You want it to be done right.
Because Todd's going to buy me something for Christmas, and I just...
Well, if you want to write up an order right now, Dave, let's get it going.
Todd,
you got the paper there.
$900. Hey, great job, you guys. Congratulations.
All right.